Days before Christmas, a family in Gqeberha is reeling after the death of a toddler. 3-year-old Simamkele Kovu was out playing with other children in her neighborhood on Sunday when a pitbull attacked her. It's understood the incident happened while its owner was out of town. The incident has raised questions about who should be held liable in such cases. Jean-Paul Rudd is an attorney and partner at Adams & Adams. He joins me live now to discuss this further. Jean-Paul, I read about the poor mother of this child and how she's been struggling since this pitbull attack, and that really cut me deeply. It's a terrible situation. So what happens now? What kind of recourse does this family have?
Morning, thanks for having me. Yes, it is. Dog bite incidents are a frequent occurrence in society. Sadly, many people have been bitten by dogs roaming around freely outside or whilst visiting a premises. So dog owners should know that they can be held civilly and criminally liable. Now, when it comes to civil liability, one should distinguish between fault-based and faultless liability. Now, to succeed under faultless liability, a domesticated animal must have acted contrary to its nature. Now, the rationale is that domestic animals have been under the influence of man for such a long time that a minimum standard of good behavior can be expected from them. Thus, it would be considered contrary to its nature, for example, a dog to bite or a horse to kick or to bolt spontaneously with a rider on its back. However, certain kinds of behavior are considered according to its nature. Now, the following examples have been provided by case law over the years. Now, where a horse kicks out while in pain, or where a cow wanders across the road in front of traffic, or where a bull breaks through a adjoining fence and strays onto a public road, those are all regarded as according to their nature, and you cannot hold the owner liable. Now, if one looks at fault-based liability, to succeed under fault-based liability, you would have to prove negligence on behalf of the owner or the householder in causing the incident. Now, acts of negligence may include the following. The owner lets the dog off a leash in a public place. The owner fails to prepare or repair a gaping hole in his or her fence at home, or the dog wanders off private premises and bites an individual in a public area, for example, in the neighborhood. Now, owners should also know that they can be held criminally liable as well, with sentences ranging from fines to imprisonment. So if you do intend instituting an action, you need evidence of the injury, obviously, and in most cases, medical reports or photos of the actual injury should suffice. Evidence should be documented whilst the injuries are still fresh, failing which you may struggle to prove that the injuries were sustained by the incident. So I say it's therefore quite advisable to seek medical attention immediately after the incident, both for your health and to document your injuries. Now, just to get back to your initial question, so yes, the owner can be held liable both through civil liability as well as through criminal liability. And my understanding is that the NPA is investigating the matter, and it's currently sub judice.
There are reports that the dog belonged to a teenager, and I'm not sure whether it's a teenager who is a minor or a teenager who's 18, 19. If the owner is a minor, what happens?
Yes, so there's certain criteria in respect of the age of the minor in terms of negligence. So it goes up from, I think, 8 years old, where the law regards a minor, or below 8 years old, where the law regards a minor as not being able to be held negligent, whereas a minor between a certain age of 8 and upwards, the law regards them as, presumably not negligent, but they can be held negligent. And then obviously from a certain age upwards, from 18 on upwards, they can definitely be held liable. So one would have to determine the age of the minor concerned, and then look at what the law says, whether a minor of that particular age can be regarded as negligent in allowing the dog out and obviously causing the incident.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, Jean-Paul, and giving us clarity on that. Jean-Paul Rudd, an attorney and partner at Adams and Adams.